you. International callers, if you want to call in, just download Skype, and from Skype, just search for Galaxy Afiwi, and you should be able to hook us up that way. Otherwise, you can just call in using the +44 207 193 0174 phone number. So we've already had 2 calls this morning. We heard at the top of the show from our brother from the Norwood area who put out an appeal for us to try and help find those responsible, for the brutal attack on our elder Albert Wright, who was 88 years old and was robbed of his pension. Yeah, and brutally assaulted. And we've also heard from our brother Kwame, sharing his perspective on the situation in Uganda, the situation regarding our health, and the topics for discussion around top Bobby wine. So let me try and bring in right now the next caller, who I hope is our caller from Uganda. Not Uganda, from the Gambia. Greetings, caller. Who do we have on the line?
You have Dr. Joe and Mama Nasira.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent.
We're having a little challenges with our phones. So, so we got one phone because the other one, I think the mic is not good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, we're hearing you loud and clear. Welcome to Galaxy Afiwi, and thank you so much for joining us. So first of all, for those who may not know you and who you are, please give us Dr. Joe and Mama Nasira. Nasira.
Yes, thank you.
Nasira, yeah, please. I know you're no strangers to the Big G, but we may have some new listeners, so please introduce yourselves.
Yes, I'm Mama Nasira, and I am from San Francisco, California, in America. And we're here presently in the Gambia, and our books are Spicy, Tasty, Vegan Cuisine, an informative health guide for the melanated people of color. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is an informative guide to healthy living, and that's for the general population. And the second one is Eat Your Way to a Healthy Life.
All right. And that's where our brother Kwame ended on and talking about a little while ago, the importance, of what we eat for our health. But before we go into that, let's allow Dr. Joe to introduce himself to the Galaxy family as well.
Okay, greetings, family. It's such a pleasure to be back on, and I just thank you, Sister Shanice, for having us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, Dr. Gregory Joe Bledsoe, but affectionately known as Dr. Joe. I, too, am from California, the Bay Area, and graduated from law school, taught for 30 years. My wife and I have co-authored 3 books, and we are so blessed that one is #1 in the world, and that was the one my wife mentioned, Spicy, Tasty, Vegan Cuisine, an informative health guide for the melanated people of color. And I like to explain the word melanated because we're actually talking about copper and carbon, mixed electricity, right? But most people are familiar with the word melanated. That's why we put it on the book. And also it's interesting that when we checked on Amazon in the UK, the one for the general public is #1 there, and the informative guide to healthy living, and the one for the people of color is coming up a close second.
Brilliant. Congratulations on having those #1 bestsellers on health on the Amazon. Well done. So very popular books indeed. And you've brought your knowledge about health to the Gambia. So you've left California. You've gone to the Gambia. Tell us about, what made you decide to do that?
Well, we actually, we left California, America, and we started out our journey in the UK. we were in London for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we were fortunate to have a brother, Kwame Williams, who assisted us. And he assisted with getting us on at least 13 radio stations.
Mm.
We did at least 4 or 5 events, and we gone around and we met a lot of people. And after 6 weeks, we decided we were going to take that next journey to Africa, and we were introduced to the Gambia.
Mm-hmm. And when was that?
And that was we started in September. So we've actually been traveling nearly 2 years, and we arrived in the Gambia the 10th of November, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our motivation was to help our people not only in America, but we came to the conclusion that the best way to help them with the challenges that are to be overcome there is to come to Mother Africa. And one of the things we did, as my wife said, we stopped off in the UK first. And then from the UK, here we are. And in the Gambia, we're using this as a base to not only help the people here, but to spring forth to the other countries and assist them also.
So tell us about your base in the Gambia, please. What does your base look like? What do you do there?
Well, we actually are living in a 6-bedroom compound with 4 good bathrooms, toilets.
Mm-hmm.
Toilets work well.
And they work really well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually built by the Gambians who actually lived in the Americas for several years. And so we're really fortunate to have this place. We set it up for a guest house where we can, we're training guests, we're training chefs. The recipes from our book. We also invite people in who are doing retreats, and they get an opportunity to see the demonstrations of the foods, and they get a chance to taste the foods. And we generally have anywhere from 8 to 10 course meals so that they can really know that they're eating food that can really sustain their bodies without some of the other acidity foods.
Mm-hmm.
We also we are doing different projects like introducing the coconut oil, which is in the book, the importance of eating the oils that actually support our body types.
Mm-hmm.
And we have wild rice, which was here. It grows along the riverbeds. And wild rice, as they call it, is really from the grass family. Mm-hmm. And it's a whole lot better than brown rice because it has nearly twice the nutrients, and it doesn't contribute to the challenge they have with the diabetes. So we've introduced that to many farmers here, and we're in the process of waiting to get the seeds back because this is the planting season up there. Mm-hmm. We are in the schools, we're in the villages, we're demonstrating a healthier way of cooking and introducing the various spices and herbs. We're working with an herbalist here, so we're working with the local herbs and spices, and we're working with our American farmers, bringing over some of the other seeds so that we can put them together. One of the challenges that they've had here is the combination of what they call bouillon things, and I call them things, the Maggi, the Jimbo, and those are things that some of the Africans have been using to spice their food with. But it is dangerous in terms of nutrition-wise and the health problems that it causes.
Oh, those Maggi cubes. Those, yes. They're carcinogenic, aren't they?
Engineered. They have been, because melanin is so powerful, we have the most dense taste buds than any other race of people. So we're easily influenced by our taste buds, and we have a tendency to eat all of these, the things that they sell in the store. They kind of married it from what we've been eating for centuries, which is the spices and the herbs and the combinations that we're now doing ourselves. and we are putting these things in our foods, like the turmeric, and which is good for reducing inflammation in our body. The cumin is good for your stomach. The fenugreek, a lot of people are not familiar with it. It could be used in your food. It also does healing to various parts of your body. Women who are breastfeeding can use it in their teas. We have all the different, oregano, and we combine them with marjoram, and we just, we just wanted to introduce our original diet back into our lifestyles. Once we start to grow them here in the Gambia, we can start sharing it throughout the continent of Africa.
One of the things that they've been using here also is table salt. And most people aren't aware of the danger of table salt because, unfortunately, even though it comes from underground mines, it's refined, it's bleached, it's processed, and by the time it comes out and you get it, it has no nutritional value because the refining heat, it changes the chemical structure and it removes those trace elements like the manganese, the calcium, and the potassium that our bodies need for our function. And, of course, they want to make it pour better, so they add things that are really toxic additives like the bleached crude oil, chips, fluoride, cyanide, aluminum byproducts.
Imagine cyanide in the food. So
iodine, and our bodies really can't process this.
No, of course
so
not.
We let people know, it's in the book, to use things like the Himalayan salt
and the sea salt.
So you're bringing, all of this wealth of knowledge, back to the motherland. So, you can share it with our brothers and sisters over there. And what has the response been like?
Well, the response has been, it's going quite well. It's a little bit more overwhelming for them. And that's why we've opened the guest house so that they can come and they can volunteer. And we share the knowledge of what we have in here. We are actually the only Black American couple here in the Gambia. So within almost the 2 years that we've been here, we are well known. We're respected as good people from America, which is really nice. And we've been told that we are welcome to stay as long as we're alive.
Oh, wonderful.
Some of the notable personalities here, some of the ministers, the head of the intelligence, people that have eaten our food, they have our book, and they have transformed to something that is a lot healthier and better looking than what they were months ago. So these are examples that the people see, as well as those that enjoy the food.
That's brilliant.
When they start, some of them have large bellies, lots of inflammation, and so we tell them, and they also have diabetes and high blood pressure, hypertension, in a lot of our communities throughout the African diaspora. So we generally take a picture of them. If they decide sometimes they want to come every week, and we prepare food for the whole week, which is also our method of cooking, because I've been doing it for over 45 years. When I was in college, that was my way of staying healthy, because I had an experience with hepatitis B, and that's what led me to where we are today. And I must say, I believe I'm one of the best cooks in the world.
Oh, we'll have to taste your cooking to find that out, won't we? So if we wanted to taste your cooking, where could we find you in the Gambia? And I know you've got an event coming up out there as well. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we're going to open the lines because it's a community talk show today. We want our callers calling in and putting any questions to you, should you may have it. But it's a beautiful story, which just shows, how easy it is, for those of us who are going to or wanting to go to Mama Africa to do some works out there, how, we are embraced by the people and, the ease of setting things up. But you've got an event coming up, your first International Vegan Fest. Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, well, first of all, your question, we are located near Senegambia, and that's not too far. I mean, it's a tourist area, so we're located in a place that's easily accessible, and
This is, Senegambia Craft Market, and we're on the Coralie area, the new road, and we're on the junction of Dr. Sala's Pharmacy, and we're right there, two left turns, and our compound is there.
And for those of you that don't know the Galaxy family, here in the Gambia, we don't have a lot of street signs. What we have are landmarks.
Yeah, we have a number of Galaxy family listeners who, have an interest in the Gambia, backwards and forwards from there. We have our brother Marley, who has a restaurant on, I think it's Combi Beach out there. And we have our sister in Suzanne, who's in the process of setting up a health retreat there. We have our sister Angie and brother Huey, who organize trips backwards and forwards. We have our Dr. Abu here, who supports a number of initiatives in the Gambia. So the Gambia is a country that, our Galaxy family have a lot of connections with. So, it'd be great to connect with you all out there as well. And you're bringing other people.
Have already come to our homes.
Oh.
Yeah, we do know the majority of them.
Yeah.
In fact, we're connected with the group on WhatsApp. So, yes, they've actually, and Suzanne especially, she's been really inspirational in, bringing some of her folks over in her retreat.
Yes.
And Brother Huey is coming here in December with his group.
Yeah.
So part of what they do is they highlight a visit to spicy, tasty vegan cuisine.
Brilliant. And you're also bringing some guests over from America for your International Vegan Fest that's happening from the 23rd of November to the 25th of November this year. Do you want to tell us who those guests are?
Okay, well, notable lectures we're going to have is Dr. Ilela Africa, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Melanie Stevenson.
Yes.
We have an herbalist, and that's Pui, Saliu Pui.
And I believe is Dr. Kensu.
Yeah, Dr. Kensu. And we're going to have many more
speakers and events. And we're connected with we do Kundalini Yoga here in the Gambia. So they decided to partnership with us and sponsor us. And they are also going to have their international, Kundalini Fest with us. So it's going to be really...
Sounds like a good collaboration there. Yes, I've just got a text message in from our brother Marley. He said, wonderful and solid couple. I've met them a few times and brought their book. They have, and he's asking, do you have citizenship in Gambia?
No, not as yet, but we do have people holding that conversation. We're not really interested in the citizenship because for us, we'd have to wait 15 years, but we had some of the officials that said that they would give us an honorary citizenship.
Oh, beautiful.
For that, because we're here to give and not to take.
Yes.
And this is what since my husband and I'm 64 years old, I've worked 45 years of my life as a library tech, a library a laboratory tech. I've been in the nursing, insurance. I've done and raised 3 sons, and all of that I have built in my life. And then to meet such a lovely husband over the last almost 20 years, we've been working together. I've been really blessed we put our money together, and our children are doing very well. So we've adopted some of the young people, and we're assisting them. So we're here to give, because I always felt as a child, I said, when I come to Africa, I want to come and build something so my children can go back and forth, have a home in America, and they have their home in the motherland, their ancestors' home. So this is what we're doing here.
Okay, so
let's because I did not want to come to Mother Africa. I wanted to come to give. This is a wonderful opportunity to inform people of just information that they're not aware of, and also to put in place things that could help to elevate and raise their nutritional value and their life and their consciousness.
Okay, caller 238, I can see you there. Going to come to you in a short while. Okay, so Dr. Joe and Mama Nerissa, you know how we do it here. We can't start the calls, but please do keep it locked. We're going to open up the lines now, and we're going to ask our callers to start calling in and put any questions that they may have to you. Listeners, you can also text us some messages if you want to text, and I can put the questions to our guests whilst they're on the phone if you text in. Okay, so because we can't stack the calls, we have to ask our callers, our guest callers, to listen off air and then to call back in. Okay, so the lines are now open for you to call in. Caller 238, if you want to call back, now is the time. The number to ring is 0207 193 0174. Okay, so you've just heard from our Mama Nerissa and also Dr. Joe, and they've left California and they're now in the Gambia doing some great works out there around nutrition and health. And I think it's a brilliant example of, you know, people who just want to give back to the continent. You know, they've put so many years of their professionalism into the USA, but they've always had a heart to go and give back to Africa, and that's what they're now doing. They've got this event coming up, and it's called the First International Vegan Fest, and it's going to be happening from November the 23rd through to the 25th in Senegambia. Okay, let me hear who we've got on the line. Greetings, caller 238. Who do we have on the line?
Greetings, it's Sister Mutt.
Sister Mutt. Oh, greetings, sis.
Greetings. So I've heard about this couple a couple of times now, and I've just bought your book. I've just gone and purchased it. So
brilliant.
Thank you so much, because it's great to have heard about you, but I haven't heard you. So you know, your conversation for food is really, really powerful. But I have a question, because obviously, you know, you're in Senegambia, and obviously the soil is going to be in a particular state and the level of cultivation. But you've got things like, you know, people reading your books from all over the world. And this week, somebody sent me a video on it's the agricultural herbicide, atrazine. And atrazine, it was an article. There's an article on it in March 2017. But this is an agricultural herbicide that is widely used by farmers to control broadleaf weeds and grass, which interfere with the growth of corn, sugar cane, and crops. But the thing about this this herbicide is there's a video that was put out. I got it this week, and it's been out maybe since 2013, so it's crazy. But now they're seeing a link between the herbicide, and its impact on frogs. So they're seeing that it's changing them back from males to females.
Their impact on what? Sorry, frogs.
It's impacting on the endocrine system of animals. So it's reversing their sex. So they've seen that it's reversed. It was reversing a male frog to a female frog.
Yeah, I saw that experiment that was done. It was an African brother who'd carried out that experiment and exposed it. And he says inside of it, I mean, that's why I'm asking about this. And he says that there's a link to that and, you know, people becoming homosexual. So, you know, when we look at food and we try to eat well, you know,
not everybody's going to be able to grow or it's just not going to be practical depending on where you're living. Yeah. Then I don't know what it is that we need to do as a community or what your thoughts are, given that, we're not in Senegambia. I'm here in London, in a very urban built-up area, but I'm concerned about these things because obviously we're seeing the impact. There is a transition that's taking place, an agenda that's taking place, to emasculate males and, masculinate women. We're seeing the science of it, right? But my concern, I want to know where you stand and what it is you think we can do, to combat, these kinds of herbicides. Because what's interesting is it's been banned in the European Union since 2004. But of course, we're going for a Brexit. Which could mean that we have that herbicide coming through our door.
That's right. My sis, spell the name of that particular herbicide, please.
It is called atrazine, ATRAZINE.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, my sis. So continue.
So, yes, I just really wanted to find out what your thoughts were in terms of, like, if, let's say we have whatever this exit, if you know anything about what's going on over here, the noise of the Europeans. So it's very much about, who's going to stay, what roles are going to take place after the Brexit, how it's going to affect trade. And so stuff like that is going to have there's a good chance that stuff's going to come in.
Yes.
And I want to know what we can do to combat that before that arrives.
Okay, thank you very much, my sis. You've put that question out there. And, my thoughts in terms of what we ought to be doing as a people is coming together as collectives and financing farming projects in Mama Africa. We can actually do that very easily indeed. And, I'm certainly involved in one such scheme in Zimbabwe. And our brother Dr. Joe and Mama Narisa are involved in farming in Senegambia. So there are examples right now of people who are already farming in Mama Africa land, and of course there are hundreds of thousands of farmers in each of these African countries who would welcome partners from the diaspora. But what we have to be mindful of and be careful about is that the teaching that they're getting regarding modern farming practices actually includes the use of using these carcinogenic herbicides. And how are we to know that the same ones that they've not banned in the EU isn't now finding its way in Africa? We just don't know, what is in those bottles. We do know that what's the company called? Monsanto was fined very, very heavily a couple of strongs ago as a result of a court case which actually proved that their, I think it was their pesticides, was actually carcinogenic and was directly linked to causing cancer. And they knew it as well. It wasn't something that was not known. The farmers in India had been dying for many years from handling their herbicides and pesticides. So there are some very, very dangerous farming practices out there. And just like Dr. Joe and Mama Marisa have taken themselves and gone over to Africa and are rolling out these educational programs to raise awareness amongst our people about the dangers of some of these herbicides and pesticides. And in the same way, that they're working with the people to change their eating practices and habits, I think some of us are going to have to go out there and do that sort of work, do the research, and then spread the information. So let's bring back our unknown callers. Is that you, Dr. Joe, Mama Narisa?
Sorry, Sister Shanice. Shall I call back?
No, go through, Brother Naya. Greetings. How you doing?
I'm good. Shall I call back or?
No, well, just make your question. They're trying to come through, but quickly do.
Yeah, could you ask them? I wanted to ask them, how they feel about religion, because my auntie passed, and I don't feel that I want to go to the church. So I asked Jackiah and King this morning, and he said that I should go to pay my respects. But if I go and pay my respects and stand up, I will tell him exactly. I will stand up on the thing and tell him exactly why.
Well, I would say maybe you shouldn't go if that's what you're if that's what you think you're likely to do.
Saying so
you can pay your respects at her graveside, maybe then, my brother. And I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. Really sorry to hear about your loss, but
It's all the elders are popping up. My father passed this year, my auntie now. She passed on the same time as Aretha.
Sorry
she's
to
with
hear that.
But this is what I'm saying.
Well, my advice, my brother, would be to pay your respects at her graveside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I do digging. I do the digging and stuff like that. But I would
just avoid the church. Yeah. Okay, my brother, thank you for your call. You've put the question out there. They may well comment on that when they call back in. Thank you, Brother Naya. And sorry to hear about your loss. My sympathies go out to you and your entire family. Bringing in our caller on the unknown. Is that Dr. Joe?
Yes, it is.
Okay, brilliant. And Mama Narisa.
Sure.
Right, beautiful. Okay, we've got Mama Yar trying to come in. Can I ask you to call back in just 2 minutes after Mama Yar?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Okay, unfortunately, we're unable to stack the call, so I can only do one call. Mama Yar, I was just about to take your call. I did accept it, and now you've hanged up. Please quickly call back, and then that will allow our guests to call back in again and respond to your question along to the other questions that are going to be put to them. So, Galaxy family, if you've just tuned in, it's Sista Shanice here on the Big G. Okay, greetings, caller. Greetings, caller. Okay, we've just lost that caller there. Do call back, and you are being connected. So, Mama Yar, this is Sista Shanice here, connecting you to the Big G. Greetings, Mama Yar.
Greetings. Am I live on air?
You are live and direct to the entire Galaxy family around the world. How you doing?
I thought I was off air. I just wanted to get some information about healthcare using turmeric. Earlier, the sister mentioned turmeric as one of the things, and I've been wanting for a long time to chat with somebody about the difference between the actual, root as such, and the powder.
Okay.
I don't know how effective the powder is.
Okay. So let's put your question out there to our vegan guests and nutritionists, and hopefully they'll be able to call back with a response for you.
I hope so. And I just want to say, it's good to still be able to link with the Galaxy family. I give thanks that some of us still able to be in touch with each other.
Yes.
For me, it's my social network.
Yes, as we say, it's a lifeline.
And interact with other people.
Yes, my sis. And so, thank you for keeping in touch with us via the www. Or the tune in. And please do spread the words, especially among the elders, because we don't want to lose them, all important family members.
That's right.
Okay.
But those of us who are technophobic, I suppose, because people do feel very, very passionately about Galaxy, and it might encourage somebody who otherwise wouldn't use the internet to get on it. Which
absolutely.
Once we do, I think we tend to see how much it has to offer, not just in terms of being able to hear Galaxy, but getting information about stuff.
Absolutely. We've got our guests calling back in. Mama Yar, your question has been heard.
I'll come off the line and listen.
And feel free to call back. Thank you so much, Mama Yar, for giving us a call and putting that question to our guests from California. I guess from the Gambia now, Senegambia. So, greetings. Is that Dr. Joe?